Good afternoon. You may want to know the best ways to improve your learning. If you are studying a foreign language and you want to discover the most effective way to do so this video is for you because I'm going to share with you 4 methods, 4 tips to improve your learning. So, we will explore 4 methods you can use. These methods are focusing, testing yourself, interleaving, and teaching. The first method or tips. One of the best way to organize your study session is to use the Pomodoro Technique. You may be surprised to hear Pomodoro Technique. No, you have heard correctly. What is the Pomodoro Technique? Francesco Cirillo created the Pomodoro Technique in 1980s. Cirillo was a college student at that time. He used a timer shaped like a tomato to help him focus on his schoolwork. Pomodoro, as you know, is the Italian word for the fruit, by the way. The technique works like this. You set a timer for 25 minutes and work on a task until the timer rings. Then you take a short break, around 5 minutes, and reset the device. After several or a few 20 minutes study session, you should take a longer break, anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes, writes Cirillo. Cirillo suggests recording the number of Pomodoro sessions you complete. He also suggests getting organized and planning for future study sessions so that you can complete the most important work first. The important point of this method is to help you focus and stop postponing work. Procrastination, says Dr. Barbara Oakley, is one of the biggest issues in language learning. She studied Russian and worked as a translator on a ship where Russia was part of the former Soviet Union. The Pomodoro Technique, she says, is the best way to help overcome procrastination. Also, the important part about the technique is to train your brain to enjoy learning. Oakley explained that you should treat yourself after focusing for 25 minutes. And when you are done, you have to give yourself a little reward. You have to listen to a song you like, get up and move around or chat, just some kind of reward. And that reward will help you wire your brain so it more enjoys the actual process of learning. What can you do? The next time you have to study, give the Pomodoro technique a try. As we have seen, the idea is to use a timer. Let's say you set the timer for 20 minutes and focus only on your studies during that time. You cannot check email, type messages, or doing anything aside from your task. When the timer goes off, you can reward yourself by listening to some music or having a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. You can repeat the process as many times as needed. Second method, test yourself. When you are studying, you should test yourself often. If you are using a textbooks, then you can do practice questions from the end of each chapter. You can also find all kinds of online tests and quizzes for many subjects. Flashcards are another tool. There are free flashcard programs, or you could use piece of paper. The point is that you make your questions somewhat difficult and then you have to practice with them regularly. But you should be careful about flashcards. Think carefully about making different kinds of questions. Many language learners put a vocabulary word on a side of a flashcard and the definition on the back. Every flashcard suggests the same basic question. What does this word mean? While it is useful to remember what different words mean, be sure to make other kinds of questions. Why questions or how questions, for example. The third tip or method is interleaving. When most people study, they just do blocked practice. In other words, they only study one topic at a time. But research suggests that a different kind of a practice, interleaved practice, may be better for long-term learning. Interleaving is a technique that means you mix different topics. So, for example, in one study session, you might spend time testing yourself on vocabulary words and then test yourself on some grammar structure. A 2020 study published in the Journal of Educational Psychology found that interleaved study was much better than blocked practice. The study examined 547 grade math classes over a period of 4 months. Some classes did interleaved assignment, while other classes did blocked assignment. 1 month later, students took a surprise test. The final results were powerful. The interleaved group outscored the blocked group 61% versus 38%, the researchers wrote. The last tip, teaching. Teaching is also a powerful way to learn. In a study published in Contemporary Educational Psychology, researchers compared different groups of students. Some students did not expect to have to teach information while others did. Researchers Fiorella and Meyer wrote that when students actually teach a lesson, they develop a deeper and more persistent understanding of the material than from solely preparing to teach. In the Guardian newspaper, David Robson points out ways to teach others, even if you are alone. If you don't have a willing partner, you could imagine describe it to someone or draft an email setting out what you've learned in as much detail as possible, Robinson wrote. Closing thoughts. You can put all these techniques together to make a powerful study plan. For example, you might organize your study sessions with the Pomodoro Technique. Then You can test yourself and interleave different topics. After that, you could take a break, you can reward yourself, and do another Pomodoro session. There are many options. You can create your own plan based on what you need to learn. But what you will realize is that when you focus and do tasks that are at the right difficulty level, your brain will become tired. Some days you might only be able to do just one 20-minute session, for example. Other days you might do many 20-minute sessions. After all the mental training you will surely need to rest and to recover. And that's all for this video. And I want to thank you for your attention. Thank you for watching.